Hello, BookTube. I have an epic science fiction read-along to tell you about. You might have seen videos about it in your feed already, but I am so excited. I am so excited. It's a Dune read-along, and it's not just Dune. It's Frank Herbert's original sextet of novels, his 6 Dune novels. Isn't that awesome? It's DuneTube. And I invite you all to join. I'm doing this with Lukash at Totally Pretentious, Mark at Richardson Reads, and Elena Makridina. And we are doing one Dune novel a month, by the ones by Frank Herbert, not the spin-offs, not the pastiche fiction. We're doing Frank Herbert's novels, one a month, starting in July and going right to December. So July, we're doing Dune, Frank Herbert's epic novel Dune. And the thing that we're going to do for this DuneTube read-along is each of us will post videos on the 20th of the month. So it's Dune first in July, a nice hot month to be reading Dune, and then Dune Messiah, and then Children of Dune, God Emperor of Dune, Heretics, and Chapter House Dune. So those did I leave one out? Did I leave one out? Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, God Emperor, Heretics, and Chapter House. Okay, well, that might not be a sextet, but one way or another. What's a little sextet between friends? One way or another. We're going to be doing our video on each book on the 20th. And I confess, that feels a little odd for me. It feels a little odd to be doing a book as big and complex as this in only one video. It feels like Dune should be one video a week in the month of July, but that's the way we're doing it, and we've got a bunch of science fiction fans here. I have read Dune many times. I'm always up to read it again, especially since the folks at Ace sent me the whole set of Frank Herbert's Dune novels in these gorgeous new paperbacks. So these are the ones that I'll be using. I will put them to use rather than just have them decoratively up on my shelf. So mark your calendars, haul Dune off your shelf if you've been meaning to read it all this time. It is one of the greatest science fiction novels of all time. It is an incredible reading experience that does not fail on any level. Character, pacing, even the ending. I'm always criticizing novels for their endings, but this one has a slam bang ending on 2 different levels. So if you've been meaning to read this, or if you've been meaning to reread it, pull it down off your shelf and get to work, because we're going to talk about it on July the 20th. That gives you a nice long time to read Dune. Dune Messiah is much shorter, so you won't need that much time to read it, and then we'll move on to Children of Dune, which is great to discuss that. And it's going to be an extra treat for me to be discussing the last 3 Dune novels, God Emperor of Dune, Chapter House, and Heretics of Dune. I think are all 3 fantastic novels, just incredible. And they don't get that reputation. Their reputation is poor among so-called science fiction fans who have not read them. I've almost never met anyone who took the usual cast-off line about these books that Dune is great, Dune Messiah is terrible, Children of Dune is okay, and then they all go downhill from there. I've almost never met anyone who held that familiar line, who didn't just imitate it from someone else. I've almost, in other words, never met anyone who held that line after having read the books. And I firmly believe that you will not. So when we get to talk about those in the winter, that'll be great. But anyway, so I want you to mark just a short video here. I have a lot of read-alongs to talk to you about, but this one I wanted to give its own video. We are doing Dune. We're doing DuneTube. So mark your calendar for July. You're finally going to get this behemoth done, and you're going to be so happy you did. So that's all for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.